pleasure for us to occupy our position as anchors for today's event. We are third year UG students of the Department of Mechanical Mechatronics Engineering, and we consider it an honor and a privilege to be entrusted with the responsibility of anchoring this prestigious international conference being jointly organized by IIT Jodhpur, LNMIIT and MNIT. On behalf of the conference organizing team, led by Dr. Vikas Sharma, Dr. Sarvesh Agnihotri from LNMIIT, Dr. Rishikesh from IIT Jodhpur, Dr. Rajiv Agarwal from MNIT, and the members of the local organizing team. We welcome you here at the Department of Mechanical Mechatronics Engineering, the LNM Institute of Information and Technology. It gives us immense pleasure and pride to extend our greetings to one and all present here today for the inaugural ceremony of 23rd ISME International Conference on Recent Advances in Mechanical Engineering.
We are delighted to witness such an august gathering of dignitaries such as academicians, industry experts, practitioners, researchers, and enthusiastic participants all under one roof. We are truly honored to have with us our esteemed chief guest, Professor Anup Chawla, guest of honor, Mr. Gavin Hardman, represented by Mr. Shrikant Bagal, distinguished dignitaries, respected faculty members, and our keynote speakers, Professor Alankar, Professor Paul Yong Hien, Professor Naveen Kumar, Professor Sunil Pandey, Professor Pulak Mohan Pandey, Professor Manish Singh, Professor Ekta Singla, Professor Seshadri Shekhar, Professor Saptarishi Basu, and Professor Prakash, and other invited guests. Your gracious presence adds dignity, grace, and significance on this occasion. We thank you, sirs, for sparing your valuable time to be part of this conference. This event has been thoughtfully planned with the objective of promoting knowledge sharing, fostering meaningful collaborations, and inspiring innovations in the field of mechanical engineering and recent developments. We strongly believe that deliberations and interactions during this presentation will be enriching, insightful, and rewarding for everyone present here.
Greetings to one and all present here. I'm Kalishka Wadhwani from the Mechanical Mechatronics Engineering Department, and joining me is Ridhima Agarwal from the Electronics and Communication Engineering Department. We are both second year students. With blessing of our esteemed honorable patrons, Director IIT Jodhpur, Professor Avinash Kumar Agarwal, Director LNMIIT, Professor Rahul Banerjee, and Director MNIT Jaipur, Professor Narayan Prasad Padhi, the respective HODs of Mechanical Engineering at IIT Jodhpur and MNIT Jaipur, we are delighted to start the ceremony. At first, I would like to briefly introduce one of our patrons, Professor Rahul Banerjee, Director of the LNMIIT Jaipur. Professor Banerjee holds a PhD in Computer Science and Engineering with specialization in Intelligent Systems and brings 35 years of experience spanning teaching, research, counseling, social interaction, and leadership. Today, he is represented here by our Dean of Academic Affairs, Dr. Vikas Gupta, sir. I would request our HOD of MME Department, Professor Deepak Rajendra Onone, to present a bouquet to Dr. Vikas Gupta. May I please request sir to please come and sit on the dais? Thank you, sir. It is now our honor to introduce our chief guest, Professor Anup Chawla, Henry Ford Chair Professor at Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Delhi. Professor Chawla is a doctoral graduate from IIT Kanpur and brings with him extensive experience in teaching, research, and academic leadership. His areas of expertise include simulations, algorithms, machine learning, and finite element modeling, with notable contributions to biomechanical and computational research. With over 150 research publications in reputed international journals and conferences, Professor Chawla has guided numerous doctoral scholars and has actively contributed to research, innovation, and industry-academia collaboration. We are deeply grateful for his esteemed presence, which adds immense technical and academic value to this conference. May we kindly request a round of applause as we welcome Professor Anup Chawla. I would request Dr. Deepak Unone to kindly present a bouquet to our chief guest. Thank you, sir.
So may we please request you to come on the dais? We are privileged to introduce our guest of honor, Mr. Gavin Hardman. Mr. Hardman currently serves as Director Design at Triumph Motorcycles Limited, United Kingdom, where he leads strategic design and engineering initiatives for advanced motorcycle platforms. His career spans leadership positions across renowned global organizations, including Triumph Motorcycles, Hero MotoCorp, and KTM. Today, due to his overseas travel, Mr. Shrikant Bagal has come up on his behalf. Mr. Bagal, serving as Area Lead Engineer at Triumph Motorcycles Limited, United Kingdom. He holds a rich experience of 15 years in suspension and chassis designing, vehicle engineering, and new product development. Please join me in warmly welcoming our guest of honor, Mr. Shrikant Bagal. May I request our Dr. Mohit Makkar sir to kindly present a bouquet to our guest of honor. Sorry, sir, due to... Sir, may we please request you to sit on the dais? As this conference is being organized under the aegis of the Indian Society of Mechanical Engineers, which is a professional body established in 1976 to unite mechanical engineers, institutions, and industries in India, fostering the development of mechanical engineering. We extend a warm and respectful welcome to Professor S.P. Singh, the chairperson of Indian Society of Mechanical Engineers. He is a professor of mechanical engineering at IIT Delhi with nearly 3 decades of experience in academics and research. His areas of interest include vibrational control, composite materials, and nanomechanics. He has published around 100 research papers in journals and conferences. Let us welcome Professor S.P. Singh with a huge round of applause. May I request Professor Kamal Kishore Khatri sir to kindly present a bouquet. Thank you, sir. Sir, please, may we request you? We extend a warm and respectful welcome to Professor R.K. Pandey, the Vice Chairperson of ISME on the dais. Professor Pandey is a professor of mechanical engineering at IIT Delhi with more than 20 years of experience in academics and research. His areas of expertise include bearing lubrication, tribological elements design, engine tribology, lubrication and metal forming. He teaches and conducts research related to tribology and lubrication science, contributing to numerous publications in these fields. His work has been cited widely in academic literature, reflecting his impact in mechanical engineering research. Let us welcome Professor R.K. Pandey with a huge round of applause. May I request our Professor Ashok Dargar sir to kindly present a bouquet. Sir, please. We extend a warm and respectful welcome to Professor Bhupinder Godara, the Secretary ISME on the dais. Professor Godara is Professor of Practice in the Mechanical Engineering Department at the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. He brings over 30 years of extensive industry experience in product development, especially in refrigeration and air conditioning. Prior to his academic role, he held senior positions in leading companies such as Carrier, Danfoss, ACME, Onida, and Fedders Lloyd, focusing on product development from concept to market. His areas of interest include refrigeration and air conditioning systems, energy efficiency, sustainable cooling technologies, ventilation, indoor air quality, and industrial safety. Professor Godara is an alumni of IIT Delhi. Let us welcome Professor Bhupinder Godara with a huge round of applause. May I request our Professor Ashok Dargar sir to kindly present a bouquet. Thank you, sir. We extend a warm and respectful welcome to ISME Treasurer Professor S. Hedge. He is a strong education professional with a PhD focused in computational fluid dynamics from Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. May I request Dr. Sarvesh Agnihotri sir to kindly present a bouquet.
Thank you, sir. It is now my privilege to introduce our Head of Mechanical Mechatronics Engineering Department at LNM IIT, Dr. Deepak Rajendra Ununi. He holds a PhD from MNIT Jaipur and is a recipient of prestigious Marie Curie Individual Fellowship. His expertise lies in advanced machining processes, micromachining, and surface engineering, with a strong publication record. I would like to request Dr. Vikas Sharma to please present a bouquet to sir. Sir, please. Thank you so much, sir.
To invoke the blessings of Goddess of Wisdom, knowledge, learning, and to mark the auspicious beginning of today's program, I respectfully invite our honored dignitaries to kindly come forward for the lamp lighting ceremony, followed by Saraswati Vandana, seeking the blessing of Goddess Saraswati.
विचार सार परमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणा पुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदाम् जाड्यान्धकारापहाम् हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्
Moving forward, we now invite the chairperson of ISME, Professor S.P. Singh, to kindly share his insights on ISME and conference series, its past journey and future vision. Sir, please.
Very good morning to all of you. Our Chief Guest, Professor Anup Chawla, my colleagues, Professor R.K. Pandey, Professor Kodara, Mr. Sanket, and the respected dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, delegates, and other attendees. I welcome you all, heartily welcome you all on behalf of Indian Society of Mechanical Engineers for this conference, which I hope will be a fruitful experience for all of you. So, before I forget the last things first, while we were lighting the candle, lighting the lamp with the candle, so what was happening was, the candle is already lit. उसमें रोशनी है, गर्मी है, आग है, and then we just interact it with candle with the बत्ती के साथ हम इसको integrate कर रहे हैं, and the wick again it starts burning. Okay, that is conference. So that thing should happen in the conference. Okay. So if that is not happening, that means the conference has not succeeded. Okay. In its my request to all the delegates is that some candles are there floating around. So you try to interact with them in the most active manner, and and get yourself lit up also. So that is the conference that must happen. Okay. So as far as Indian Society of Mechanical Engineers is concerned, we were it's quite an old society set up in 1976. Of course, it was set up by some of the stalwarts at IIT Delhi, Professor J.S. Rao, Professor Juneja, Professor Nakra, Professor R.K. Mittal. I think all of them are now have already completed their journey in this world. But the society is still living on, and in fact February 26 will be completing 50 years of our existence. So this is the 23rd conference. Every 2 years this conference happens, but post COVID, we had a gap year. So it introduced a lot of changes. After that, we are doing it almost every year. Okay. So, of course, apart from these, the ISME flagship conference, there are other conferences also which you hold, and you can always, one can always, any institution can always request ISME to sponsor the conference or hold a conference on any specific topics or any okay. So we provide our logistics and advertisement and everything, you know, whatever is possible from the society side. So that's another an open invitation. And so we know there's one more point which I want to talk about is that, you know, the mechanical engineering, all of you must be aware of the fact that in many of the colleges, especially in private colleges in north as well as in south, the discipline of mechanical engineering, they have closed the discipline of mechanical engineering. So this is mechanical engineering as such, we are facing, you know, is facing a lot of challenges from that point of view. But does that mean that, you know, mechanical engineering is becoming less relevant? That is not at all the case. In fact, that is something which we should ponder over. And of course, in the society also, we keep on discussing this issue. Its only point is that the face of mechanical engineering is changing. We are no longer the same conventional mechanical engineers. You know, as you know, Professor Chawla is there, we will also explain to you. There are so many other areas which we have to amalgamate with those sciences and then proceed, because that's how our products are also coming, you know. That's our, so if we remain mechanical, I'm surprised, I'm happy to know that, you know, even in you know, in this institute, we have mechanical and mechatronics department is there, okay. And so there are a lot of areas, mechatronics, biomechanics, nanomechanics, sustainability is one very important area, okay. And so they are, unless we, of course, robotics, which is, you know, in the gamut of mechatronics, and then your Internet of Things, you have this rapid prototyping, and the additive manufacturing. So there are so many small, I would say, revolutions which are happening, many revolutions are happening in our industrial society, and mechanical engineering has to encompass those into its own. Only then we can, you know, stay relevant and we can stay progressive. Okay, this evergreen branch will it will always remain evergreen. Okay, it used to be called evergreen branch in our time, you know, but it is saddening to say that, you know, since last 5-6 years, there has been, because of onslaught of the computer science things, you know, whatever the reasons are, market reasons are also there. So, and this is also one of the purposes of this conference. When you say this recent advances in mechanical engineering, we must be exposed to what those advances are, and later on, gradually we inculcate them into our research, into our curriculum, into our, you know, thoughts. Okay, so that is the precise purpose of this conference. I think I'm wishing you all the best. With these words, I would conclude and hand over to for our chief guests and other people, other dignitaries. So thank you very much, and welcome you all to this. I hope you will have a fruitful experience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed very informative. Now, we shall proceed with the unveiling of conference souvenir, commemorating the theme and objectives of this conference. I request everybody on the dais to please unveil the conference souvenir. May I now request our esteemed chief guest, Professor Anup Chawla, to kindly share a few words of motivation for our budding researchers and inaugural address.
must put in a few slides, not in the beginning.
So you have 15 minutes.
Hello. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais, Professor S.P. Singh, Professor Godara, Professor R.K. Pandey, and others, as well as distinguished gathering that we have. I see a lot of distinguished people, academicians, and people who have come for the conference. In fact, a lot of people from Jodhpur as well as from MNIT Allahabad. It's a pleasure, it's an honor to be here today at this inaugural function of this ISME conference. In fact, a few days back when I was asked to come for this inaugural function, I felt honored because ISME has been around for a long time. In fact, even before I started my graduation, as was mentioned, 1976, okay, ISME was set up. And it's been around for a long time, but I think it's only in recent years that this ISME conference has got a very good fillip, it has got a very good push from the people who are handling it now. I mean, all the office bearers that are there, some of them are there on the dais, others who are supporting it from the background. And of course, its past bearers, office bearers also, they have brought this conference to this level. And this conference is slowly becoming a conference of national importance where the state of the art and different fields of mechanical engineering are discussed. And I'm sure in the next couple of days, a lot of these developments would be discussed threadbare in the different sections. And you'll have a lot of very detailed and engrossing discussions. Okay. The way ISME conference and the ISME by itself is shaping up, I do see a lot of good future for it. And as Professor S.P. Singh was mentioning, we are, the idea is to spread the spread education. The idea is to spread whatever we are learning through our activities in a collaborative manner. Eventually, when we present something in a conference, it's not only the speakers who gain from it, but it's also the audience which learns, and the speakers also get a lot of feedback. Okay, so all the members of the audience, whether they be students or co-workers, colleagues, everybody gains from that experience, and I hope that enriching experience will be witnessed in the next few days. And as this conference matures further, it's already pretty mature. I mean, we've had more than 20 conferences in the last almost 50 years now. But I'm sure it will mature even further. In fact, in all such Indian conferences, I always take a little bit of pride in them because most of us researchers, we have a tendency of presenting our work in conferences abroad. Okay, we would always like to go abroad, get a good trip there and interact with the people there, of course, but that is one part of it. But we do not give enough value to the work being presented in India. Okay, I think that's extremely important because that is going to strengthen the core technical backbone that we have in the country. Okay, when our own students witness these state-of-the-art discussions, these state-of-the-art activities that are presented, they learn from it and they pass it on to their colleagues and their friends, and that is how education in the country gets strengthened, and we need to take note of that. Collaborations in today's world are absolutely fundamental, and when we talk of any activity, okay, collaboration not only with our colleagues in the same area but also with colleagues in other areas, they are becoming absolutely essential today. We cannot shy away from collaborations. We cannot shy away from interdisciplinary activities, and that is the core of engineering today. We are talking of AI and ML. We are talking of robotics, mechatronics, biomechanics. They're all interdisciplinary areas. Okay, 20 or 30 years back, these areas were evolving, but they're not expanding with such a pace. But today, I think that's absolutely central in all our themes. Interdisciplinarity and collaboration are absolutely the core of every activity that we are seeing. Just to strengthen that, instead of, I'll say, instead of just talking as such, I thought I'll just run a couple of slides just to give some idea of the interdisciplinarity of the kind of work that is happening in mechanical engineering. Of course, the work that I'm showing is a work of our group as such, but it is, the idea is not to give a technical presentation, but just to show what can happen through collaboration and through working together with in an interdisciplinary manner. Okay, we are having expressways on roads, and mobility has become absolutely essential today. But crashes are also becoming equally common. We have more than 1.75 lakh people dying in the country today every year. Okay, so one of the things that we do is look at crashes, and what I'm showing here is the analysis of a crash that we did, and I'm going to show you a simulation, which is not just an animation, but it's simulation. It's a validation. It's a validated simulation. It's been validated against the data that has been collected from the roads. On the right side, you see what actually happened to the car, and then we are doing a simulation and trying to validate that, just to understand what is happening in the crash and what kills people. Okay, so this is not just a mechanical simulation. Okay, there is a lot of energy absorption that is being captured, but in addition to that, road design comes into it, which is maybe a part of civil engineering. We are looking at injuries, so a lot of biomechanics comes in. Okay, so it's a lot of interdisciplinary work, and all this work has been possible only through a lot of collaboration that we have with people from people with expertise of different types. Again, this is another crash that I'm showing, in which a bus had a crash and it caught fire. So on the right hand side is what is left over from the bus, and on the right hand side, on the lower side, you'll find a crash barrier which is damaged by the bus. Okay, analyzing this, what actually happened, of course, we can say that the police will do it and so on, but it's not just police work. There's a lot of engineering that goes into it to understand what's happened, to understand the issues that are important, and eventually you see basically a replication of what actually happened in the crash. The bus coming and hitting the crash guard. The crash guard had a gap. Then the bus going and hitting the culvert, and the culvert ripping through the bus. So the energy absorption in the bus comes into picture. The design of the road comes into picture, and of course, all this is again compared with what actually happened in the bus during the crash, and we're able to say with a certain level of confidence that what has actually happened. Again, the idea of showing this is not just one student's work, but a teamwork that has gone into it in terms of collaborating with the police department, with the hospitals there, with the people who gave support at that time, and the local people, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of collaborative work that goes on in all these activities. Another example of a lot of collaborative work is this model, the development of this finite element human body model, which show in detail what is actually inside the body, but all that has been captured using a finite element modeling mechanism. Okay, and that is used in a number of applications. We see on the bottom left an application of impact. On the right hand side, we see the processes that have gone into capturing the material properties of the human body through testing and so on. So again, this is a highly interdisciplinary work in which we had collaboration from the doctors, we had the collaboration from materials experts, finite element teams, and a lot of impact analysis. We also do simulation of blast and so on. So all this is completely collaborative, interdisciplinary in nature. And one thing I've realized in my 30 plus years of career is that when we are collaborating with people from our own discipline or from other disciplines, okay, we have to go with an open mind and start working. We should not be looking upon our collaborators as competitors. Okay, quite often people say, okay, if I'm working with him, he'll take my ideas and start working on it. Let them do that. If they're stealing your ideas, fine, let them do that. There's enough work in the world for everybody to be working together. Okay, if we start looking upon our collaborators as competitors, then we are not expanding our own horizons. We are not expanding the expertise in the domain. We are not letting our knowledge pass on to other people. Okay, we are not competitors here. We are just collaborators, and we are working together. And that is the spirit with which we have to pass on the knowledge to our colleagues, to our juniors, to students, and to everybody else. Okay. Another similar activity is here where we are looking at implants. Implants are have become a reality in today's world. I think people above the age of 60, a lot of them are having knee implants, hip implants, implants in wrists and so on. I'm myself carrying one today. Okay, that's a very common reality. But designing implants, it requires a lot of engineering work. Okay, and that cannot be done with without collaboration with, let's say, doctors, without collaboration with the other people who are working on it. There's a lot of computer science also that goes into it, because we're talking of scanning and so on. So there is a lot of collaboration that goes on. And I can say that in all my last 30 years of work, I don't think I could have done anything without good active collaboration from my team members. What I show here is a team that we have there at IIT Delhi, and of course, a lot of them are not coming here because there are people from other hospitals and other places who have been interacting with us remotely. But it is this collaboration, it is this this manner of working together that really is important today, and that is extremely important because the future lies in interdisciplinary work, whether it be biomechanics, whether it be robotics, whether it be AI. But without working along with other people, we'll never be able to proceed together. The previous speaker just mentioned that mechanical engineering is not being taught in some colleges, but it will always remain because all activities are interdisciplinary and we have to work together. Okay, that's all that I have to say. I'll end with that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words, sir. We now invite our esteemed guest of honor, Mr. Shrikant Bagal, to kindly share a few words with us. Sir, please keep it short.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. Honorable Chief Guest and Professor Anand Chalaji. The dignitaries on dais, the entire all the attendees and students here. It's been an honor to represent Gavin Hardman. Unfortunately, because of the Christmas plans and planned his commitments, he was not able to make it here. But today I'm carrying his message along with the overall Triumph Motorcycles message on behalf of everyone at Triumph, that this is an honor to present here in this conference, and having extending our collaboration with LMNIT and the other institutes in and around Jaipur over the period of time. So just to give a brief about Triumph, Triumph is like around 120 years old organization. I think one of the oldest motorcycle brand which is in production still now, and been known for one of its flagship models, right from sports segments till modern classics. And one of the Rocket 3 I was mentioning to Professor just before our talk, that it is one of the largest motorcycle engine currently produced, around 2,500 cc motorcycle running as a production engine. So that has still, that makes sure that the mechanical engineering is still in place and it will not go anywhere until we have. So, and I myself designing the next generation rocket, so be assured that it will be still there for quite some time. So as there are a lot of advances in AI, machine learning and everything, I could already acknowledge what the previous speaker said, that the collaboration and interdisciplinary work is very mandatory, and I can assure you based on the industry experience, like a lot of professors and the academia is here, but I can represent from the industry experience, it's a real value. Like we have a modern suspension where everything is electronically controlled, electronically gauged, and still mechanically giving the results of the suspension. So just for a glimpse, I would explain some of the modern technologies which we are coming up. Like you are riding a bike, the bike height is very high, you are not compatible to ride that bike, specifically an off-road or enduro bike. You are a lighter weight, you jump onto the bike will settle down, it will gauge your mass, it will adjust all the settings as per your mass automatically and ride along as you take up the speed, the bike will again raise its ground clearance so that you don't need not to hit pothole and anything around area. As you drop down the speed to 5 kilometers or any specific speed set, the bike again lowers down so you can put your foot down onto the ground. So we are coming up with that kind of technologies which is a recent reality. Already there are a lot of bikes on production with that kind of features. So I think working together along with mechanical engineering and electronics, AI and all the learnings, it's still in progress. So one more example which I would like to share as I'm working closely on that, and Professor Anupji has just showed some of the crash and things. So the bikes which we are coming up with are with like modern radars where we could gauge having the adaptive cruise control in bikes as well, so that you could judge the speed and so bike performs according to that, according to the surrounding areas. You also get blind spot indications and all those things. So the technology is evolving, engineering is evolving, but I think both mechanical and the rest of the computational science will be still relevant and still there. Just to give brief quickly on to the collaboration with LM90, I'm happy to share that we have been working with them for last 2 years. We have been recruiting at Triumph India for last 2 years. So, and I would like to give a compliment that the students which are on board are performing really well, and they are becoming a part of our growth story at Triumph in India. So basically Triumph is based in UK. Most of the design center was still in UK with all the markets all across the world. But recent time we found out that a lot of Indian guys joining Triumph UK, and then we figured why not set up an Indian office in India, so that the design center has, as a nuclear center, we are setting up in Jaipur. So that's an additional opportunity for the industry and academia to collaborate together to work on upcoming technologies. Also making sure the students get an exposure to the industry far advanced before they get ready for the campus placement. So some of the internships which we are doing, you could get the compliments or the feedback from the student, past alumni students, that it helps a lot in terms of both the academia to learn and make the students ready for the industry, and for industry to have the talent on board so that we can groom them in the way we want it to be. So with this, I would like to conclude just a school of thought for the students here, not all the experienced guys because they are already there, but I thought of to close up with my some of the key skills which helped in career. So, and that's an advice for the students, is like whatever the technology or the advances in terms of the dynamic ecosystem we have now, few things you should carry from the university is like critical skills, is like critical thinking, thinking out of the box, problem solving, making sure your problem solving skill is always on. Like if you are good at problem solving, you will be doing very good at your job. And last thing, I think in terms of dedication and due diligence to the task assigned to it, be it small or large, everything you do in your work helps to deliver a detailed design. Every small task adds up to a bigger goal of the product. So make sure if you are joining as an intern or anything, every small task adds up to your career. So that's all. And at last, I would like to give all the best wishes for this conference. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your enlightening words, sir. We now invite our esteemed guest, Secretary ISME, Professor Bhupinder Godara, to share a few words with us to set the tone for the conference.
All right, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to begin by thanking LMN IIT for the occasion for hosting this conference and for all the young faces that I see who are contributing. You know, I can feel the little bit of nervousness, but the brightness, the confidence is actually quite captivating. And then all of you spared your time, in the morning to be with us. As our chairman, Professor S.P. Singh said, you're all candles, and you're going to light each other and you're going to bring a lot of value to this conference. So I really welcome all of you. And Dean Academics, who's representing the director, thank you very much for all the support. All the faculty members who are here, you've kind of welcomed us so warmly. And I was with Vaibhav when he came to pick us up, and he was talking about what he's doing in his third year. He talked about mechatronics, and I reflected back on my career when I joined industry. So when I joined industry, I wanted to create something, to build something that works, that makes a difference to society. So I'd learned mechanical engineering, but my electrical and electronics was all on the job. So when I find here young engineers are getting an opportunity to integrate all these three things together, it blends well with the level of cooperation and co-working that the speakers have today morning talked about. So I encourage all of you to learn from each other and always have this comprehensive approach that no single discipline is enough. There has to be a multidisciplinary work if we want to create something that works, develop new products, create innovation. So with that kind of theme, I want you all to engage enthusiastically and make a difference. Thank you.
It was indeed a very warm and inspiring address. At this moment, we shall proceed with the felicitation of our distinguished guest as a humble expression of our respect, gratitude and appreciation. May I now request our respected Professor Vikram Sharma sir to kindly felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Anup Chawla, with memento and shawl. सर ये है ना अतुल कुमार शर्मा सर है ना सेकेंड में चेंज कर Thank you, sir. May I request Dr. Atul Kumar Sharma to felicitate our guest of honor, Mr. Shrikant Bagal, with memento and shawl. Thank you, sir. May I request Dr. Rishikesh to graciously felicitate esteemed ISME Chairperson, Professor S.P. Singh. Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Sarvesh Agnihotri to felicitate esteemed ISME Vice Chairperson, Professor R.K. Pandey, with memento and shawl. Thank you, sir. May I request Dr. Vikas Sharma to felicitate esteemed ISME Secretary, Professor Bhupendra Godara, with memento and shawl. No, sir, दो सवाल बचे हैं, उसके बाद। अच्छा। हाँ। वापस से मुझे बोलना आने के लिए, ओके। सर आपका एक और बार बोलना है करने के लिए। हाँ। आपका बोलना है। वो अनूप चावला, अच्छा तो वापस करना है ना एक और बार। तो सर वापस एक और बार कर लेंगे। May I request Dr. Praveen Sharma to felicitate our acting director Vikas Gupta, who is representing Professor Rahul Banerjee. Thank you, sir. May I request Dr. Ashok Dargar to felicitate our HOD of MME Department, Dr. Deepak Rajendra Unone. Thank you, sir. Again, may I request Professor Vikram Sharma to kindly felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Anup Chawla, with memento and shawl. With right memento. Thank you, sir. With this, the felicitation ceremony comes to a graceful close.
And
ये नहीं बोला.
Sunil Kumar.
May I request Professor Sunil Pandey to felicitate esteemed ISME Treasurer, Professor S. Hegre with memento and shawl. Thank you, sir. With this, the felicitation ceremony comes to a graceful close. May I now request our HOD of Mechanical Department, Dr. Deepak Unone, to kindly share the theme of the 23rd ISME Conference and the word for audience.
Thank you, Lakshita. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Anup Chawla. Honorable ISME Chairman, Professor S.P. Singh, sir. Honorable Guest of Honor, Mr. Srikant Bagal. Honorable ISME Vice Chairman, Professor R.K. Pandey. Honorable ISME Secretary, Professor Bhupendra Godara. Honorable Dean of Academics, Professor Vikas Gupta, representing Director LNM IIT. Distinguished keynote speakers and session chairs. Respected office bearers of ISME. Respected organizing committee members from IIT Jodhpur, MNIT Jaipur and LNM IIT, respected delegates and esteemed participants who have joined for ISME 2025 conference. It gives me an immense pleasure and a deep sense of honor to welcome you all to this 23rd ISME International Conference on recent advances in mechanical engineering, hosted here at the LNM Institute of Information Technology, Jaipur. This edition of ISME holds a special significance as it is being jointly organized by three premier institutions, including IIT Jodhpur, LNM IIT Jaipur, and MNIT Jaipur. This collaboration reflects our shared commitment to academic excellence, innovation, and advancement of mechanical engineering research in India. We are deeply grateful to the Indian Society of Mechanical Engineers, ISME, for entrusting this prestigious international conference to our institutions. Your confidence has inspired us to curate a conference that is both intellectually enriching and professionally impactful. The response to the ISME 2025 conference from research community has been truly overwhelming. Let me share some key highlights. The total abstract we have received were more than 450. After that, we have accepted around 140 plus papers for oral conference. And for this conference, now we have more than 200 plus delegate registrations. These numbers are not just statistics. They represent the enthusiasm, rigor, and research quality of the ISME community. The contributions cover cutting-edge research areas such as advanced materials and manufacturing, computational mechanics, smart materials, energy systems, robotics, automation, and interdisciplinary engineering applications. These are the areas which are shaping the future of mechanical engineering. I would like to place on record our sincere thanks to Anusandhan National Research Foundation for supporting this conference. I would also like to thank our publication partner Springer for supporting this conference. Such support plays a vital role for fostering high quality academic exchange. My heartfelt thanks also goes to our colleagues at IIT Jodhpur, MNIT Jaipur, ISME Executive Council, dedicated faculty members, staff and student volunteers here at LNMIIT Jaipur. Their tireless efforts, coordination and commitment behind the scenes have made this instrumental in making this conference a reality. To all the participants, which are academicians, researchers and industry professionals, as well as the students who have joined for the conference, thank you for being part of ISME 2025 conference. Your presence and active engagement truly enrich this platform. We sincerely hope that the conference offers you a stimulating discussion platform, meaningful collaborations, and lasting professional connections. Once again, I warmly welcome you to LNMIIT Jaipur and wish you a highly productive, inspiring, and memorable conference. Thank you, and I wish ISME 2025 every success. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Everything was explained very clearly. We will now take a break for tea, but before we proceed, I request all participants with presentations scheduled shortly to kindly upload their presentation in their respective lecture hall. We kindly request all delegates to reassemble at LT9 by 11 a.m. for the upcoming keynote session. Thank you.